Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome to Opus Magnum, Sigmar's Garden with Lyte. So we're going to look at the solitaire board game that's included in Opus Magnum because when they originally released it, the rules were a little confusing and the strategy isn't necessarily 100% straightforward. And so now they have retroactively changed what our good friend Concordia tells you about the rules. So if you scroll back up to where she talks about the game, it is now a much more easily followed set of instructions. So the goal is to clear off all the marbles. That part was perfectly clear. Then this second bit is what was a little sketchy. It's only free. There are 3 open spaces that are connected to one another next to it. And spaces off the board count, which is why these edge pieces are free. Because they not only have this one and this one, but also this one and this one. So whenever you remove a piece, you can predict which one is going to unlock next. And the goal is to get rid of all of them. You can match an element with itself. You can match an element with salt. You can match salt with salt now. This is also new. You can match salt with itself. Morse only matches with vitae, depending on which pronunciation of Latin you use. And then metals match with quicksilver, but you have to do them in order. So you have to do lead first, followed by tin, followed by iron, followed by copper, followed by silver, and then gold is last, but you don't have to match gold with quicksilver. Gold just has to be free, and you can take it, and you're good to go. So those are the basics of the rules, but as far as strategy goes, there are a few things you need to keep in mind. First, you need to internalize the rules. You need to know exactly which one will be freed up by removing any given piece. So by removing any of these pieces, the only one that will become available is the corner adjacent to it. So you get rid of this Morse, you get aqua, you get the water. You get rid of this quicksilver, you get the air. You get rid of Morse, you get salt. Get rid of terra, you get vitae. Because anything else in a straight line only has 2 free. 1, 2. And so this opening gambit here does not give you a lot of flexibility because the Morse cannot match with one another. Quicksilver has to match with lead, which is all the way in here. So the only choice you get is earth and salt. Now, working with salt is particularly complicated because if you match this salt with this earth, that means later you will have to match another salt with another earth, or you won't have an even number of earths to match with one another. Then, it's important to keep an eye on your quicksilvers, because yes, you need to know the direction you need to work towards your metals. So, lead, tin, iron. So you'll need to know how you're going to get to them. But more importantly, you need to know that quicksilvers are difficult to match and will block your path. So this guy right here, we're going to need to use first to open up any of this to get to tin. Unless we want to work all the way through lead, down in through here to get to tin. And that's a nightmare. Because this guy is going to be locked. And thus you would have to get rid of this red and this green to be able to get to this tin from this direction. Terrible idea. Up here, you've got this quicksilver kind of locking this way, not a huge deal. This one locking here, which is a fairly decent sized deal. This guy, also problematic. This guy, perfectly simple. Ordinary, no problem. And so when you only have one choice, you make the obvious choice. When you're presented with multiple choices, you go, okay, where am I trying to get to and what will help me get there? So we have to use this because it's our only choice. But do you use it down here to open up this salt? Do you use it down here to open this water, or do you open it here to get this air? And so you look, well, we're going to be working in this direction. We're going to need a water, but we have a water. Will we need a second water? Well, this water will open when we use this, but this one won't open until we take that one. So having a second water is probably fairly advisable. So you take the Morse and the Vitae, and then you have a water and a water and a water and a water. But then you go, oh, that seemed so obvious. But we've already lost. There is nothing left that we can match. Everything seemed fine, but if you think through it too fast, you get too greedy towards one of the metals, and you can lose that quick. None of these match with one another. We don't have any free salts. So what we should have done was open up the salt to get to the fire. And it's really easy to do these sort of things in hindsight. But that's why this game is so fun. You can lose super fast. And then you just start over and go, okay, what are we going to do this time? We'll try to do better. You look at the arrangement and go, ooh, this is neat. You're going to have to work around the outside to be able to get into the middle to work through these. Well, we're going to have to work to lead here. But we're not getting to it through silver, so we're going to have to get to it some other way. Well, we're not getting to it through this quicksilver because that's the first match you can make with this quicksilver. So we're going to have to go in through here to be able to get to it at all. Yikes. And then we've got tin over here, blocked off by copper on that side, so we're going to have to get to it through here. Then iron is over here, which we've already cleared out a bit of for the lead. Copper, come in through here. And then silver's on the outside. Probably not going to be a problem because it's already good to go. So the question becomes, which quicksilvers are we going to use for which one? Well, this one seems pretty obvious for the lead. Do we use this one for the tin, or do we try to get to this one? This one blocks off the route through here, but that's probably not a huge problem, so long as we have a green for this right here. So when in doubt, you get started. When you only have one choice, you do that one thing. This green will help push us towards copper, but won't really push us towards the lead. What we need is a red, so let's get the greens gone to get to the red. Now, for this red, after this red, we're going to need life. There's a life here, and there's a life here. I personally like to keep the salts now that we can match salt with salt. It doesn't lock you in as much. So we'll match that. We'll match these, and now we have a life for here. Now there are tons more deaths causing issues all over the place. But we are making our way towards lead now. Because we've got the reds, and then we got the blues. We've got a green here and there, so we're still doing okay. But after that, we're going to have to use a salt, because nothing else is available. Quite possibly both salts, because we don't get an air from either salt, so we're going to have to salt the green and the air. Oh, now we need this water, so we need to use this life. So we check on the other lives and see which of them will be most useful for getting rid of something else. So we've got a problem here with it being death blocked, so we might actually want to use this here and then use this one on one of these too. There's no particular reason to use it on the one on the outside because it's already safe. So we'll unlock that, and then we'll hit this. Now, we've got several quicksilver open, which is always good free quicksilver is very important to have. We'll use our waters to open up the lead. Now, we want to use the quicksilver that actually gets us something. So we use this one to get an air. It's not hugely important right away, but it could be rather soon. Because we need to get this tin, and to get that, we need to use an air. Granted, we already had one. I know. And so, when you have very few choices, the choices seem super easy, but that is the nature of everything. Now you get to an important question. After this, do we need to worry about which of the quicksilvers we use? And the answer is probably not. Once you get rid of all of your metals, you're probably good to go. And so we take this and that and the other, and it'll be relatively smooth sailing. We just need to remember to use our salts appropriately on our blue and our green. And the game is ours. And at this point, you can just be like, well, we got the gold, so we're pretty much done. If you can get the gold, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to lock yourself out of victory. And so, those are the strategies that will help you not always win at Sigmar's Garden, but it'll certainly help you out if you've been struggling to get that first win, or maybe those first 10. After the 10, you need 25 to unlock more story. I don't know what the achievement is after that, but it's probably quite a few. I really quite enjoy this little mini game, and I hope you enjoy the other episodes of this where I demonstrate the transmutation engine, which is the real meat of this game. If you have any questions about this game, if you want any more tips or tricks, and if I come up with more advanced strategies, I will let you know. But for now, thank you for watching this episode, and I will see you in the next episode of Opus Magnum with Lyte.